everyone, and welcome to another episode of the NewMed Insiders. So today we are joined with some very interesting guests from the NewMed Student Association. So before we jump into the questions, could you guys please introduce yourselves and tell a bit about the roles that you're playing?
Hi everyone, I'm Gauri. I'm the president of the Student Association. So the role of the president is to basically supervise the overall functioning of the association, make the final decisions, liaise with the management, and just, look after the overall functioning of the Student Association.
Hi guys, I'm Anissa. I'm the vice president of Student Association, and what vice president does is basically helping the president with everything that they do, and also discuss with them about the decisions, liaise with the staff as well, and also delegate the works to other student association members.
My name is Shazib and I'm the secretary of the NewMed Student Association, and I am basically on communication within the NewMed Student Association. So I maintain lines of communication with the management as well as the student body, often thinking both of them together as well. So yeah, that's my job in a nutshell.
Nawat?
Hi guys, my name is Nawat. I'm the current treasurer of the SA, and my job is basically to take care of the funds in the SA, allocate it for different events to different clubs, also liaise with club treasurers and the finance department of NewMed, and just take care of the money in general.
Hello everyone, my name is Trimaljot Singh Anand, or TJ, and I am the External Relation Officer for NewMed SA. So the basic role of an External Relation Officer is to represent NewMed's views and ideas to external organizations, mainly being the EduCity. So I'm also the Vice President of the EduCity Student Senate.
Okay, so starting with the first question, have the expectations of your various roles and what you've gotten yourself into challenged you in any way? And if so, how is it different from what you expected it to be? So Anissa.
For me personally, I think my predecessor, which was Hairi, he was actually a really good vice president, and because of that I had really huge expectations and pressure on myself, because he was like friendly, he was really good to everyone, he was very nice, and because of that I felt pressured and really feel like I need to do as good as he did. But with the help of everyone in my team, with the help of everyone's efforts and also hard work, I feel like we were able to achieve that expectation that I set for myself, at least a bit, hopefully. So yeah, I think for me that's the biggest one.
Money usually has been handled mostly in the form of cash and things of that sort. So just trying to handle all of that has been a little difficult. But I guess like every SA has different challenges, and our challenge was the situation itself. So just trying to cope with that and work well with that was, that was pretty challenging, but I think we did a good job with that. Yeah.
Gauri?
Like Nawat said, so the one obstacle that our SA had to face was the situation that we're in. We couldn't, like every SA, they have like a pathway set for them, so like they can organize events the way the previous SA did. But for us, we just had to come up with everything on our own, like think of ideas of how we can do things virtually. And with COVID, there were a lot of welfare issues that were brought up for the first time, so dealing with them was challenging, but we overcame those issues as a team. So, yeah.
What about you, Shazib?
For me, I think challenge-wise, it was more about, I think, again, like everyone has said, COVID-19 being the biggest obstacle. But I feel like just in general, the situation itself has, stopped us from doing a lot of events and prevented us from, just going over planning in general. But I felt like the communication part of it all was much better.
Yeah.
Because now we're just relying on online resources to get the job done. I think we were able to do it. I think we were much better in that way.
Yeah.
We were very fast, and yeah.
Okay, second question. Aside from your role in the SA, what are some of your hobbies outside of the academics? So yeah, we'll start with TJ.
Okay, so I guess everyone is well versed with one of my most favorite hobby, that is singing. So, and we don't have any more open mics here, and I missed that mic on the stage, and I hope the COVID is done so we get that soon. But apart from that, I developed a new hobby in quarantine that's actually not very good for my academics and has affected it a bit, and that is playing FIFA. And since I don't have my console here, so I'm just stuck with my laptop and its controller. So just singing and FIFA and also driving, but I don't have a car here and I can't even drive a SO car because Indian license is not accepted there. That's a different sad story, but anyways, singing and FIFA, that's it.
Okay, anyone else wants to share their hobbies, pastimes?
No?
I mean, academics does take up a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
So yeah, if I get sleep time, that's I think a new favorite hobby. I think everyone has. So
Yeah.
That's for everyone. I'm telling
yeah,
you.
yes, I think I'm speaking for everyone at this point of time. Yeah, just chilling. I think chilling is my hobby right now.
Netflix.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay, now for this question, I want each of you to tell me one rewarding and one challenging part of your role. So, anyone can start.
I can hear that. So I'll just start with the challenges first.
Yeah.
So as has already been said many times, the situation itself, and also I think just with every single function of the essay itself had to be modified,
Yeah.
if not obliterated, because things don't work out the same way when you have a raging pandemic. So yeah, we had to change along the way. We had to find newer events to engage the student body, because to be honest, we wanted to be an essay that still had something to do while all this was going on. So we felt that we would try and find alternatives throughout the year, and we did that. We went out of our way to find everything that we can to fit within the scale of feasibility, and then do it. So that was one big challenge. In my role, I don't think so there was any challenges in my role, but rewarding, most definitely, because it's just that working for the essay and making sure that people are being benefited and people are able to have a smile on their face in any way possible, like just dealing with their issues, or just organizing events that engages the audience and gives them a pastime besides studies, because studies are burdening, we all know that.
Yeah,
Online stuff is
Yeah,
not easy.
true.
So we need to find other ways of engaging the audience, and I think we've done that. We've
You
gone
really
out of our way to do
have.
that.
You guys
Yeah.
really have.
I think for me, the results that we did, so anything that we organized, like what Shazib said, any events or any issues that we actually tackled together as a team, the result that we actually able to achieve is something that's very rewarding. Either all the hearts and all the hard work and also diligence that we put into it, it's been really rewarding in terms of how we see the outcome of it and how it affected other students. About the challenging part, I would say the communication, either between each other or with other students. I feel like because we're not on campus, we're not seeing each other just casually, they cannot approach us as easily. So they need to find our phone number or go to Instagram, try to find our profile and actually message us there. As well as each other, if we don't really see each other, so we need to schedule a meeting one time that all of us are free,
Yeah.
so that we can talk with each other. So I think it's quite challenging.
Gauri?
So the rewarding part, like what Shazib and Anisa said, just being able to make a difference, just being able to, impact someone's university life was just such a big thing. And then when we got emails, when we get emails saying thank you for considering this and thank you, it just feels so good. So I think that's the most rewarding part of this job. And the challenges, of course, the situation itself. When we got into it, we were like, okay, what are we going to do? But then we, obviously, after numerous meetings, which were very hard to schedule sometimes because of the different time zones that everyone was in. So people had literally woken up at
That was another challenge.
4 a.m. for some meetings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very grateful for everyone in the essay because we got through all our challenges together.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think the rewarding, of course, as a team, if you put in hard work into something and you get something out of it, that itself is already so rewarding. You just feel so proud of yourself, the team. It just makes you happy. So that definitely, as a team, was very rewarding. I think personally, also just joining the essay was very rewarding because you see just personal growth in yourself. Because like person like me, I don't think I would have ever, essay was never in my plans, so just growing as a person because of that, I think that was great. I think for challenges, I think time management would be a huge one, because of course academics is one thing, and even because of the whole virtual situation, you know, things could have been done more instantly if you're on campus. If it's virtually right now, then yeah, again, scheduling stuff, not only with the team members, but you know, outside people, the clubs itself, things like that. So I think that has been a little tough.
That's good. Teaching.
Okay, so my position in SA has been very rewarding because of such a brilliant team we have. So we figure out student welfare, we figure out all the activities, we derive various ways to, you know. So that in total was very rewarding feeling. But when I talk about my position in professionally, the challenges I faced, that is a totally whole story. Because when you talk about external relations, you have to deal with external organizations. And I, being an international student, it takes time to, you know, get well versed with the Malaysian culture, and you need to speak Malay to, you know, communicate with them. And when you go into an organization like ADCT Senate, where no other international has been, it's a whole new story. Whatever you do is the first time, so it takes time to settle in. But thank God the team there and the team here was totally supportive for me. So they helped me to overcome all the challenges, and I hope that my successor that come and take over this position and will be an international, I guess, would not face the same challenges. And for the benefits, as everyone told, when you work for someone, that is the most rewarding feeling you can get. And for my position specifically, I think it's the most rewarding job because you are not only working for the benefit of NUMED students, but you also get an opportunity to work for the welfare and see the opinions of the students of the 16 institutions in EduCity. So your work, your ideas, your opinion, your representation is not just limited to one campus. Everything has been extended to EduCity wide approach. So that feeling that Shazay, Gauri and Isa just told you about, that gets multiplied 16 times. Because then it's not the satisfaction of an 800 students cohort, it's the satisfaction of a 2,500 cohort in EduCity.
So moving on, this next question is directed specifically to Anisa and TJ. So being part of the EduCity Student Senate, how is that different from the SA? And how do you tackle the challenges and balance the responsibilities between the two?
So basically, if you compare NUMED SA and EduCity Student Senate involving like 16 universities, so 16 universities all over EduCity, obviously you'll get different kind of students in EduCity Student Senate, people from all over the universities, different background, different ages even, right? So I feel like with NUMED SA, it feels like we're doing the same thing, we're from like the same family, we're achieving the same goal. So I feel like with SA, it's easier to kind of schedule things together because we have kind of similar schedule. So in terms of scheduling meetings and stuff like that, it's much easier. When EduCity Student Senate, it takes a long time because people have different schedules with their courses and everything. So I feel like EduCity Student Senate, it's much more like a bigger scale, and with them, it feels like handling a lot of things at the same time. But the thing is, with that challenge that we face in EduCity Student Senate, we have a very great president this year, and she manages to kind of bring everyone together. If someone's not participating in the meeting that we have, she makes sure to kind of reach to them personally and make sure that everyone's on the same page.
So when you talk about EduCity Student Senate, that is a totally different organization when you talk about NUMED SA. Like in NUMED Student Association, although we have different positions like logistics and education, but everyone works as a whole family. If Shazeb is somehow busy, so Anisa will make sure that she takes over his job, so the work is still there. So everyone works as a very close-knit family. And when we work as a SA, we know what the students want, what their needs are, because we are in the same boat. But when you talk about ESS, there are 16 universities, and everyone is coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, so it becomes very difficult to interpret what the students want. With limited resources and so many students in the cohort, it becomes very difficult to imagine. So that is the point where prior planning comes into play. So if we have to do an event, for example, after 5 months, the planning has to be completed by this month end. So all the permissions, everything could be sorted out. Another big difference is structure. So ESS is a very formal organization wherein there are different portfolios and everyone will only do the work they are related to. But that's not the same in NUMED SA. You can't attend a meeting, you need to send formal apologies. So that's a way of formal work and professionalism you get adapted to when you go in such kind of external organizations. So that is, I guess, the biggest difficulty that me and Anisa face, that on one side we have an organization that works as a family, and another side it's like a total external organization where we have important roles to play.
Moving on to the next question. What do you think the SA has brought to the table that none before has? And likewise, which attribute would you adopt from the previous SA, from the previous student association? Gauri, since you're the president, what are your views on this?
So I think our SA just had to bring everything new to the table because we couldn't function in the way the previous SAs have. So I think just organizing virtual events, we're very proud of it. Like no one imagined virtual club fest, like I couldn't. Virtual cultural fest, like everything was virtual. So just bringing virtual events to the table, I think I'm really proud of us for doing that. But of course, we've learned so much from last year's SA. They've always been super helpful. Like I text the last year's president too many times, and he's kind enough to reply every time. And yeah, just they taught us to like work in a team and just be there for each other. And I think we've done that. And yeah, that's been great.
Nawal, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the whole situation again, COVID just comes into everything. But yeah, that has really been a challenge, but also, again, brought something new to the table for NUMED itself, because yeah, virtual events weren't really the thing before COVID came, and we brought that to the table. So I think that's a really good thing we brought on. And hopefully this does not continue, the COVID situation, but if it does, I think the next SA can get like ideas from us or how we did it. So yeah, I think that they can continue with that. And again, talking about the previous essays, well, I don't know, personally I was very not aware of how the essay would have worked actually, but coming into it, they gave us so many different tips and how we can actually work. So it kind of changed my perspective of how it actually works. So yeah, all the help they gave and everything, how they supported us, I think that has been very, very helpful.
Okay, the next question is directed to Gauri. So in terms of the role of a president and the vice president in your association, how do they differ and how closely do you guys work together?
So Anisa and I are super close. Like before the essay, I didn't really know Anisa that well, but now we've become really, really good friends. So how the role of a president differs from vice president? Basically, the president has the final say in the decision making. So like I make sort of the final decisions. But for me, Anisa has been like such a support. All the decisions that I've made, I couldn't have done that without Anisa's help. Like for me, for everyone in the essay, I'm the president, but for me, Anisa is the president because we were very close. I consult her for literally every decision that we've made. Anisa and I have like made it together. So yeah, I'm super grateful to have her as the vice president. Yeah.
Okay, Shazay, so the next question is for you. Does the role of the secretary just require a lot of sending of emails and paperwork, or does it have more to it?
Oh, there's definitely a lot more to the role. So there is the fact that you have to send emails and receive emails, look at that. But again, I had to adapt to my role as well, and I had to take on other roles as well, like organization of events, being involved in distributions, sometimes conducting certain events as well, being a part of certain event as well. So all in all, there's a lot more to the job of secretary than there is to see. There's more than meets the eye. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Our next question is, how has the club involvement been this year, and how do you tackle the issues that have been addressed to you as a committee? We can start with TJ.
So, club involvement, actually as a SA, we are really impressed by seeing the club involvement this year because although, everything changed. We were the first SA, all the club societies were the first committees to come in such kind of a situation where everything is online. But we are glad that not only as SA, we didn't stop finding new ways to get the things on track, but the committees themselves, like Philosophy Club and all the new societies, they came up with different ideas, new talks, new ways to organize different events. Like, who thought that Club Fest could be organized on a website? And talking about the NUMED SA too, that I know we struggled a lot finding new ways, but I'm really proud of us that we found different ways, innovative ideas to get all these club involvement on track. Like the NUMED SA website. We took inspiration from our parent organization NUSU, like how they are doing online events on their website. The societies have their own pages to conduct events, different polls, different campaigns. So it's like a collective, wholesome environment there for the student organizations to take part. So we took inspiration for that and we designed a platform. We went through a series of deliberations from school authorities, Ms. Previlla, Professor Baldwin, the UK side to come up with a single plan, and that worked. And the best part was each and every society, each and every club gave equal contribution in that plan. So this year was not only the biggest win for NUMED SA's in NUMED SA's entire history, it was also the biggest win in the history of all the clubs in NUMED right now.
So like TJ said, we're super grateful to all the clubs for adjusting to the situation and coming up with such new and innovative events in spite of the situation that we're in. Not only their own events, but clubs really helped us with organizing the Club Fest and the Cultural Fest, and like the clubs and the SA work together, and that's how we were able to put up those events. And TJ mentioned the NUMED SA website, so hopefully the website will go live soon by the start of the next academic year. But we feel that it'll serve as a platform for clubs as well as the SA to communicate with the entire student body.
Yeah. And to add to that, I do want to have a special shout out to several clubs. So the first one being Philosophy Society for being able to organize like a lot of talks and discussions as well that they've done this year, even though they are like a new society this year. Second one being TNT for doing all the NUMED Insiders, all the newsletters that you guys put out. It's amazing. The third one being NUX, because you guys had managed to do a virtual run with all the restrictions, all the limitations. You guys actually managed to do a almost 1 month long run this year. So really hats off to you guys, as well as Debate Society for doing 2 debates I think this year, and also a few other clubs like sports clubs. I think in the beginning of the semester they were able to do some monthly
Practice sessions.
Yeah. And
I remember that.
Also for Surgical Society for doing surgical talks this year. Shout out to you guys.
Okay, so next question. Since this year is coming to an end, so what advice would you like to give the upcoming candidates who will be running for the positions or your particular positions in the Student Association?
I think a lot of candidates might be fearful of this situation, COVID again. So I just want to say that, just don't worry about that, because if we managed to, overcome that kind of challenge, I think it should be fine for the others as well. And it could go on for longer. So I think it should not be a factor that they consider while trying to apply for the SA, or even once they are in the SA, not to take this as a very dreadful thing, but more as something that they have to just go on with and work with and just do something good out of it. And just work together, just think about NUMED as a whole, and I think they do great.
I think just listen to that inner voice. So I think it's very cliched, it's very idealistic, but for me it was just that I had taken this position up in year 1 in several clubs and societies as well, and just applying to the essay, I was just doubting myself because I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to handle that. Considering how online school is, you all know how tough it is now. And I was just doubting myself, but then to future candidates, I would say listen to that inner voice. It's just that you realize how rewarding the job is once you get it, and the number of people you're impacting, whether it be a small impact, but you still are doing something, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So I think listen to that voice and apply it, because you may surprise yourself how good you are at certain things, and you may find out this job or any job for that matter within the essay could be a journey of self-discovery for you.
Like,
True.
I think a year ago, none of you would have imagined yourself in this position right
Oh,
now.
Never even thought of that.
Anyone else wants to pitch in any other ideas?
I
think for those of you who are actually doubting yourself right now and you are actually thinking of applying, I think you should apply even though you feel like you're not good enough or you don't have specific experiences. I feel like you should, because that's what happened to I think most of us. We thought we couldn't actually do it, but then we actually took that leap of faith on ourselves. I feel like you should. If you have the website already open, just submit the submission and apply for that position. Yeah, Gauri?
Yeah, the deadline's 9th April, by the way. Yeah, just basically go for it. I would have never thought that I'd be the president, ever. I was shocked, I'm still shocked. But just go for it. I think it's so rewarding being in the essay, and just, you get to make a difference, and you also grow as a person. You get to meet so many people, and it's just so much fun, so just go for it.
Okay, a follow-up question to that. Do you see or know anyone who will suit your roles in the upcoming student association?
Confidentiality.
Yes.
Year 1 cohort. Everyone.
All of you.
All of you deserve your position in this
person watching
essay.
this video.
Yeah, you watch
Yes,
this.
you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you apply now.
Right there.
So you guys got it. Okay, the final segment is okay, it goes like this. So I will ask you a few questions. So I'll say a statement or a word, and you guys have to discuss amongst you and come up with one answer or one suitable person in the student association who fits that. Okay. So who is that one person who joins late to a Zoom call?
Are we taking names? Let's just take the blame. Let them reveal it.
One of us.
Shazim, take one for the team. Okay, take one for the team. Shazim.
Always.
Yeah.
It's Shazim.
Okay, guys, Shazim comes late to a Zoom call.
That was me, man.
Very responsible.
He made the link though. He also made the link.
So he makes the link and then I'm
And
texting
comes
Shazim,
in.
please start the
We
meeting.
wouldn't go into the Zoom meeting.
That's so excited, for the meeting. I'm like, let me in.
Okay, who is the comedian or the entertainer of the committee?
Is someone giving hints?
Turning around.
We kind of got the hint, so it's nobody. I think it's one of you four.
Yeah. Completely.
Yes, right.
Okay, who is that one person who always needs the extension to deadlines?
Everyone. Everyone.
There has to be one person who always does it.
We help each other
Yeah.
to reach the deadline.
Okay, on that note, we'd like to thank the members of the Student Association for taking their time out of the undoubtedly busy schedule to give us a greater insight to the challenges and responsibilities that the Student Association have. And once again, I'd like to address the entire Student Association with great pleasure and appreciation for your contributions and continuous drive for the betterment of NUMED. And finally, good luck to all the aspiring candidates for the upcoming Student Association election. And until then, stay tuned for another episode of the NUMED Insiders. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.